Hey guys, hope you can hear me. Hey guys, it's Emma Vigeland with TYT Politics going live. You thought that we weren't going to do WikiLeaks? Come on, come on. It was a little bit of a weak batch today. I gotta say, they haven't really had a lot to do, a lot to say, a lot of stuff to report. But I'm going to report it to you anyway. I'm going to report the two juiciest ones. But first, I want to talk about that there is some legal trouble for Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch over the Hillary Clinton saga. So basically, as you know, there was an infamous meeting between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton on the tarmac. Sorry, I know this is freezing for some reason. But there was an infamous meeting between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch on the tarmac, and now there may be some legal implications for that because obviously you can't have the husband of the person being investigated meeting with Loretta Lynch. Like, it doesn't work out that well. It's not a good look. It probably has some corruption involved. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and about two of the emails that stuck out most to me. I'm sorry, guys. I see that this is sticking a little bit. It's probably because so many people are commenting. Thank you so much. Okay, so reading to you from Mediaite, just to give you an overview on the lawsuit that's being filed. In the ongoing saga of the FBI's investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails, one of the sticking points for conservatives and liberals, I would add, although I think they say that later in the article, has been the now infamous plane meeting. It's like a meeting of Batman villains, except she's alright, Loretta Lynch, she's not a villain yet. Now infamous plane meeting between Attorney General Loretta Lynch and former President Bill Clinton. That meeting, with which both Lynch and Clinton came to regret, I'll say so, came days before the FBI Director James Comey, who, by the way, Clinton supporters were calling so principled when he didn't go after her. And now I think they've changed their tune a little bit. It's funny how that works. The meeting, which both Lynch and Clinton came to regret, came days before FBI Director James Comey held the press conference announcing no charges would be brought in the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Donald Trump and plenty of others, including people on the left, criticized that meeting, mostly on the optics, but Trump himself has taken to citing that meeting as evidence of the rigged, corrupt system. It's rigged. It's all rigged. Maybe not for you, Trump, but it's rigged for other people. Now, the American Center for Law and Justice is filing a lawsuit against the Department of Justice seeking all relevant records having to do with that meeting. They initially filed a FOIA request, Freedom of Information, request to obtain this information, but as it now says in the lawsuit, the defendant has wholly failed to respond to the plaintiff's FOIA request. I wonder why they responded. It's almost a failed to respond. It's almost like they have something to hide. ACLJ Chief Counsel Jay Sekulow explained yesterday what they're pursuing, including the following. This is the lawsuit that's being filed. Any and all records containing the names of any DOJ official, staff, or employee who participated in the discussion regarding the meeting between General Lynch and Bill Clinton that occurred on that date in Phoenix. Any and all records communicating or briefing received by General Lynch, any DOJ official, staff, or employee from Bill Clinton or on his staff regarding that meeting, regardless of whether the communication or briefing was received before, during, or after the meeting. Any and all records of any communication or briefing prepared, sent, received, or reviewed by General Lynch, her staff, or any other DOJ official or employee after the meeting on Monday, June 27th, 2016, between General Lynch and Bill Clinton. They repeat the specifics of the meeting because this is legal language. In the conclusion of this memo, Sekulow says, the stakes are high. The American people deserve a Justice Department with integrity. We must demand accountability for corruption. If we don't, a constitutional crisis is imminent. The corruption must have consequences. I agree with you there, buddy. Even though I don't agree with conservatives on many things, and they're probably cherry-picking the corruption that they're going after. This is shady. Why is Bill Clinton meeting with Loretta Lynch when this investigation is ongoing? Even as the Supreme Court says, even if it isn't corruption, it's the appearance of corruption, and that makes people lose faith in the system. And that's almost as bad as actual corruption. No one has faith in the system anymore. And stuff like this continues to happen. That's why you have a buffoon, an orange reality star, who is going up against an establishment person who, like, it's an easy race because people are so sick and tired of that corruption. The corruption that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton can't help but perpetuate at all turns. And including, he just couldn't help but dip his toe in the water and get involved with Loretta Lynch when this investigation was ongoing. And look, it hasn't worked out for them. James Comey has reopened this investigation. So it still doesn't work out for them. They just can't help themselves because they are so used to things being just, corruption, business as usual. And in their years of public service have gotten so arrogant that they think that they can do whatever they want, that they can influence whoever they want, because the Clintons are the establishment. They have ties all over the establishment. And when you read the WikiLeaks, they talk about, we don't really know if we have a good relationship with Loretta Lynch. I don't know how I can influence her. Right, I'm paraphrasing, but there are emails where they're talking about how they don't have a close relationship with Loretta Lynch, not an acrimonious one. They don't have an acrimonious relationship, but it's not a close one. Interestingly, by the way, you find out that Al Gore and Hillary Clinton are not fans of one another. There's an actual progressive-ish guy, Al Gore, that doesn't get along with Hillary Clinton. Who would know? So that's just my thoughts on the matter. I wanted to give you guys an update on that because there aren't a ton of revelations in this WikiLeaks. But I do want to thank John, who is our researcher. Follow him on Twitter. He's been really helping me out when Jordan is away and I'm kind of on my own trying to figure this stuff out. His Twitter handle is Alexander the Meh. You may have seen him. He's a really smart guy that's been helping us out. His name's John. So thank you guys. Thank you to John for helping us with this WikiLeaks research. So here are the two. I'm only going to give you guys two. I'm going to keep this brief. Two of the WikiLeaks that I found were most interesting today. I could give you more, but then I think these are the most newsworthy, and I don't want to beat a broken record, but I do want to give you what I think is the news. So I'm sure I'll be updating you on more on WikiLeaks that I think are more pertinent. But these ones are very interesting. So this is an email exchange where there's a transcript, I believe, of a conversation Huma Abedin sends it to Robbie Mook and John Podesta between the BFFs, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton. So they are now talking. I wonder when this was. There was no collusion before the primary even started, right? Aha. February 12th, 2015. Interesting. So, subject, DWS. This says, below is a readout from the call with DWS this AM. It's a transcript, essentially, of the conversation between Hillary Clinton and Debbie Wasserman Schultz over where they will have the primary. Where they will have the convention. The very, very important imperative discussion. It's just all stupid political stuff. But I'll read you the part that I found most interesting. So, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Yes, she says, honestly, Philly was the most put together, best proposal by far, etc. So they're deciding whether to have it in Philly. Little did they know the shenanigans that were going to ensue and how Philly would maybe be not such a good place for them. Philly was the most put together, best proposal by far, etc. Hillary says capacity to raise the money. That's the most important. Oh yes, Debbie Wasserman Schultz says, set for an hour with David Cohen, who will take a title with the host committee. Benchmark fundraising will now be in the contract. I met with each mayor at the DNC and was firm about the money. You gotta be firm about the money. You know? Hillary Clinton's all about the money. All about the money. Who are you putting in charge of the convention? Hillary says. Debbie Wasserman Schultz says, need to hire a CEO. We'll run a process and determine that. If you have candidates that are good to look at, let me know, and we'll be sure to let you know. So, of course, yeah, as we know, Hillary Clinton is determining the candidate for the CEO of the DNC. Hillary says, congratulations on the process. Yeah, I would congratulate them, too, if she was giving me a shoe-in to be the Democratic nominee for president. Congratulations on the process. If we plan it right, all the great historical sites of Philadelphia will be great for us. Debbie Wasserman Schultz says, agreed, Liberty Bell, etc. It's great. Second thing, I think we've seen an uptick of negative stories about you in the process. If we see an update, I've seen an updated negative stories about you in the process, I will gladly speak on your behalf. Oh, thank you, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Hillary says, thank you, biding my time for now, and thank you for the offer. We should talk, who should we talk to about this? And Debbie Wasserman Schultz says, Tracy. So, Hillary Clinton determining the CEO of the DNC way before the primary process was over, before it had even begun, I believe, and just colluding with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is a direct conversation between the two of them. Again, thank you to John for pointing this email out to me. It is confirmation of what we've already known, but it's juicy and interesting to see a conversation between the BFFLs who have matching bracelets, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton. So, moving on. Now we have confirmation that Colin Powell was not lying. So if you recall, if you can not lose sight of the fact that he used the phrase dicking bimbos in reality, that this wasn't an alternate universe, that was the Debbie Wasserman, that was when his emails were hacked a few months ago, and or a month or two ago, I believe, month and a half. Colin Powell was talking shit about Donald Trump, talking shit about Hillary Clinton, and it came out. One of them was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I'm sorry, I'm getting all my names mixed up. One of them was about how Hillary Clinton had used Colin Powell to explain away her email server. So I'll read from his initial hacked emails and then show you the email that confirms that he was telling the truth and the Hillary Clinton campaign was lying. He goes, in his email, I have told Hillary's minions repeatedly that they are making a mistake trying to drag me in, yet they still try, he wrote in May to former top Bill Clinton advisor Vernon Jordan. The media isn't fooled and she's getting crucified. The differences are profound and they know it. So he was trying to get involved with being, or she was trying to involve him in the email scandal. So she was trying to say, Colin Powell did the same thing. He also had a private email server, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't. The two situations are not completely analogous. The Washington Post writes, as the Post fact-checker has written, but Clinton has used Powell to suggest that her private email server was not totally novel. Just last month, Powell suggested that Clinton had shot herself in the foot by not apologizing immediately by dragging out the email story. HRC could have killed this 2 years ago by merely telling everyone honestly what she had done and not tie me to it, he said. Now here is the proof of that email. Back in March 2015, he said to Cheryl Mills, one of her top aides, Cheryl, good talking to you, see link. He linked to a Breitbart article about the email scandal. You really don't want to get me into this. I haven't been asked nor said a word about HRC and won't unless you all start it. So he basically was like, stop using me as your scapegoat. I didn't do any of this, so stop bothering me and stop dragging my name down with you. Colin Powell doesn't need help with his name getting dragged down. Although, to be fair, one of the only principled people involved in the Bush administration. That's being maybe a little too fair. I understand that. So, that is what I found most interesting. Yes, I understand that I was a little thin on the WikiLeaks today, guys. I'm sorry. This is not because we've been bought by George Soros or whatever the commenters believe. This is because I thought it was a little thin on the email side today. So, part 29, maybe last place for the smoking gun elements of WikiLeaks. What WikiLeaks is focusing on is what they think is some satanic ritual that Podesta is involved in. I think it's beyond low-hanging fruit to report on such things. I really wish WikiLeaks honestly wouldn't report on it, if I'm being honest with you. It's not newsworthy. It's weird, and it's just kind of it's just kind of rude. So that's all I really have to say. It's just low-hanging fruit. So if you guys want to look that stuff up, that's fine with me. but I'm not going to be reporting on it for you. So, all right, guys, have a lovely day. That ended up being a 15-minute long video. See, I can talk and talk and talk and, you know, not get sick of myself. That's what a narcissist is, right? I don't know. I'm exhausted. It's Friday. Have a lovely Friday. Stay sane until the election. I know I'm trying to. And peace out, Girl Scouts.